The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, go Cowboys!
This is the Players Lounge, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now your hosts,
Barry Church, Danny McCray, and Newy Scruggs.
Here we are on a Thursday, everybody. Welcome to the Players Lounge, brought to you by Hotels.com. It's about the players on this show. Two former Dallas Cowboys safeties, Barry Church, who's in studio right now with me, and Danny McCray, the ultimate survivor. Danny was on Survivor last night. He's got the day off. He's doing some work on assignment here, so he's down there in Houston. I don't know if he got to go watch the Astros get Game 2 of the World
they ended
Series.
up getting that one. So I know he was banging on some trash cans after that victory, man.
Yes,
I know he was.
Yes, the Astros are trying to get this thing done. If Dusty Baker wins the manager, I'll be happy for Dusty Baker.
You be happy for Dusty, even if he's winning with them?
Like I said, I don't care about the Astros.
As long as
I like Dusty Baker.
All right, respectable.
Who's gone through some things. And
okay.
so,
Man, what about your boy Ron?
And that was the next thing was out of my mouth is, if Dusty doesn't win, then I'll be happy for Ron Washington, third base coach of the Braves, who was the manager with the Texas Rangers and hopefully can be the next manager of the San Diego Padres. So either way, I'm going to be happy.
So you winning.
For two longtime guys
That's a win-win.
Who deserve rings.
No doubt about it.
All right, so Sean Lee.
Yeah, we got the man in here.
Okay, Sean Lee, number 50 with the Dallas Cowboys. When you just talk about professionals, that's the word I think of Sean Lee.
Without a doubt.
When he played for the Dallas Cowboys, just a pure professional. And you say that word, but Church, you look at a guy like Ben Simmons. Mm-hmm. Okay? Professional, not there. Last year, James Hard, with what he was going through with there's a lot of guys that word doesn't apply to who are very talented people.
Yeah,
very talented.
And that word applies to Sean Lee 100% fold. I mean, this dude, when you talk about a constant professional and just a student of the game, I don't think I've ever been around anybody who's been quite like him when it comes to studying this game. I mean, this guy put so much pressure on himself to be that guy, to be the leader of this defense, to be the key playmaker of this defense. And when he was healthy, I mean, I would say he was arguably one of them top linebackers in the NFL when healthy. The only thing that kind of drew him back a little bit was those injuries that, seemed to happen throughout the end of his career, towards the middle and the end of part of his career. But while healthy, this guy's one of the best linebackers I've ever seen, a student of the game. The way he dissected things, it was very Peyton Manning, Drew Brees like. I mean, he would know exactly, all right, that guard's pulling this way, they're doing the pitch. I mean, a lot of the tackles I made was just from listening to this guy. It's coming your way, Church, it's coming your way. I'm like, oh, all right, let's do it then. Let's get it going. So that guy helped my game out a ton. He helped everybody around him a ton. And there was defenses where we had no business even being on the field. But that guy just had everybody going in the right direction. And, I mean, you just can't say enough about this guy.
I think of linebackers who, vocal leaders and guys who performed well on the field. I think Ray Lewis, I think Luke Kuechly, Bobby Wagner, and Sean Lee was up there in that same ilk in terms of just being able to make a defense better, knowing what everybody needs to do. All right, it sounds like we can hear.
I hear the birds chirping in Santa Barbara.
Beautiful.
I can hear you guys. Can you hear me?
Yes,
we got
Lee.
you, man. We got
Sean
you.
Lee in the Players Lounge.
He made it to the Players Lounge.
What's up? I figured let's go.
Let's go, man. It looks amazing right now. Are you in Santa Barbara right now? It looks amazing in the background, man.
I am in Santa Barbara right now, and I've become spoiled being out here. Believe me.
I can believe it, man.
I'm not gonna lie. I've gotten spoiled. I've got spoiled with the weather, and listen. I lost all my street cred coming out here.
You lost a little bit of the street cred?
Weather, and I'm stuck. I lost a lot of my street cred. You know that. And you've lost some of yours, too. Don't act like you haven't either.
This is true. I lost a tad bit out there, man. So what you been up to, man, since your playing days have been done? What you been up to?
You know what? I've been playing some basketball at the YMCA. My game is slowly getting get back to that high school form, but that's been my competitive outlet. Working out a lot. A little bit of work for the scouting department, having a lot of fun learning from those guys, a different perspective on football, and seeing all the work they put in, the level of detail that they work with, not only in the pro side of it, but the college side of it, finding guys, going to different colleges, searching things out, and learning the tricks of the trade from those guys has been a lot of fun. So still around football a little bit, and it's been great.
That's awesome, man. So you're doing a little bit of scouting for the Cowboys here. You're grading the linebackers. What to you has stood out about this linebacker core? I mean, I know we got Parsons in there, Keanu Neal in there, and they seem to be able to turn this defense around. What have you seen from this linebacking core so far this season?
I mean, when you start with Micah, first thing as a rookie to make as many plays and handle. I know, Church, we can talk about it as a rookie. I mean, we got in the field.
Yep.
You were just trying to get lined up, do your job.
Exactly.
And just not make a mistake. I mean, making plays was another thing. You were just trying to not make mistakes. And for a young guy to come in and play on the line of scrimmage, to play middle linebacker, to play outside linebacker, and do all the things he's done is incredible. I mean, he's obviously an outrageous athlete. Mm-hmm. And having that type of speed at that size is almost unheard of. And they've asked him, like I've said, they've asked him to do a lot to be able to go to become a defensive end. And really, I don't think he's rushed consistently as a defensive end since high school.
Yeah.
And to come in and be able to make plays and dominate that position, I mean, it really is absurd what he's been able to do. And I love watching him on film, the intensity, the hustle, the speed he plays with. And then Keanu is obviously another great athlete who's played safety, but moves extremely well, plays with such physicality, toughness, instincts. He's been fun to watch. And then, my guy Leighton, who is an unbelievable football player, an all-pro, a big, long guy who can cover so much ground, plays with instincts, plays tough. So you put all those guys in there, the type of athleticism, some of the experience, along with the whole defense, man, they're playing the right way. I don't know what you think, Church, but that it's one thing to make plays. It's another thing week in and week out to play with a certain type of effort, and they've done that.
Yeah, they're flying around the football right now. And another guy I wanted to talk about a little bit is a guy that we played with in his earlier years, and he had a rocky start in his earlier years. And I'm talking about Randy Gregory. What type of transformation have you seen from this guy? Because we were there in the early stages when it was a little bumpy, but now he seems to have gotten himself together, and he's proven on this football field that he can be dynamic at the defensive end position. What are your thoughts on Randy Gregory going forward?
I'm so happy for him because, we've all, Randy, he's such a great guy who's always loved football. Mm-hmm. And he dealt with some stuff early in his career, but he always was trying to be proactive handling it. And you got to give him credit for reaching out, working on himself, consistently trying to come back and improve. But I've known since day one, put him on the line of scrimmage. Is there a guy with a get-off like him
Nope.
who can bend with the flexibility and plays with that type of motor? I mean, he is a rare guy, and he's showing it right now. I mean, he's dominating. Last week, I mean, the type of game he had against New England, he has 2 sacks, he has a holding call that brings back a touchdown, and then the next play is a strip sack that changes the game. I mean, he is a complete game changer. He's one of the best defensive players in the league right now, mm-hmm. and he's a catalyst for this defense. And listen, if you had told us that a couple years ago, you would hope for that because of the type of player and person he is. But I mean, he took it. There was a lot of time off, and it's not easy to take time off and come back. And to see him do what he's doing, man, it's incredible. He's a great guy, and he deserves all the credit in the world.
Without a doubt.
For real.
This is the Players Lounge brought to you by Hotels.com. Barry Church, Sean Lee, 2 former Dallas Cowboys, 2 Western Pennsylvania guys.
Oh, yeah, whip your baby.
Both deciding that they don't want to live in the winter in their retirement years. They don't want to live in Western Pennsylvania. Okay, they want to be chilling in the nice weather here. And
That's
so,
right.
Sean, the background over there in Santa Barbara looks great. And it just made me think, since we saw Survivor last night with Danny McCray, maybe that's that next challenge for you, man. Get you on Survivor. What do you think?
Get him on Survivor, man.
Danny's made for Survivor. He's slick. Danny knows how to maneuver.
He knows how to work a room.
Things, you know what I mean? He knows how to work a room. I can't do that like him, man. I think I wouldn't make the cut after week 1. I mean, they'd throw me off the island quick,
Oh man.
But I'm rooting for Danny. I love Danny, and he's a great football player. I think back when we were rookies and we were playing special teams together and watching you and Danny as rookies just completely dominate, and me just really struggle on teams, especially in preseason, and just you two just making it easy and talk about 2 guys that I loved playing with. And him and then you as an inspiration. I mean, you don't give yourself enough credit for getting people lined up, the instincts you played with, the leadership you displayed. I helped you make some plays where you helped me make a ton of plays, and the confidence that I had knowing you were behind me, Church, and knowing Danny was playing safety and running on special teams was fun to play with both you guys, man.
Man, I loved every bit of it, man. But a lot of people don't realize about Sean, but he was a hell of a basketball player in high school in Whitfield in the Western PA. He was a 21-10 guy coming out of high school, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's an argument to say that Western PA basketball is not that good, and it's a hard argument to win for me. But I loved playing. I loved playing basketball. When I was 15 years old, I was trying to be on the AAU circuit, trying to play. I mean, I wanted to play basketball in the worst way, but my game didn't really match up to my height. 6'2", I thought I was going to be at least 6'5", and that shot never came around. So it didn't come around. So I started to get in the weight room. Kind of focus on something. It's funny how you get older, and then all of a sudden everybody keeps growing and you don't, and they can shoot as well as you can and dribble, and they're 6'7". You got problems.
Yeah,
when
there
you
it
deal
is.
with that.
Okay, I got a question for both of you.
Yeah, but I loved it.
During your time with the Cowboys, question for both of you. Who was the best basketball player on the team?
Go ahead, Sean. You take that one first, man. You take that one first.
I think Bees was pretty good.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, Beasley was crazy quick and could shoot, could handle, and he could sky for, he's not a tall guy, but I mean, he could get up and play above the rim. So pound for pound, I would have to argue him. Now, being that I, was tearing ACLs and pulling hamstrings left and right, I didn't play a lot of basketball in the off season until now. So I didn't get to actually play. I didn't get to play against guys a lot, but I just know from hearing things. Beasley, I know Des was great. Mm-hmm. We would play a little bit. Back in Oxnard, they had the hoop.
Oh yeah,
and so we would play a little bit out there in the parking lot. And Des had that lefty shot and could shoot. And there were a couple guys who could really play, and they ended up moving that hoop. I think things got too competitive.
A little too competitive out there.
Dead legs after a off day shouldn't happen, and half the reason we were playing basketball on that court.
Without a doubt.
What about Romo? Because I keep hearing things about Romo.
I liked Romo's game.
I should bring him. He's not going to be happy. He's not going to be happy that I bring him. Romo could play. Yeah. I mean, super slick, great shot. I mean, when it comes to hand-eye coordination, I don't know. He's one of the best I've ever seen. Yeah. I mean, can play ping pong, can play golf, can shoot the basketball playing pool basketball. I mean, unbelievable set of hands on him. And crafty, like a crafty athlete, like sneaky, uses his body well, was quick and great body control. So, no, he can play too.
He definitely got some game to him, as well as Marty B. Marty B had a little game to him as well.
Played at Texas A&M.
Played at Texas A&M. He had a little game to him as well. But I gotta ask this question before we let you get up out of there, man. So the guy at corner right now, Trayvon Diggs. I mean, he's playing some of the best ball that I've seen in a long time out of a corner. To you, what makes him so special at that corner on the outside? Because not a lot of guys can do what he's doing so far.
I think, number one, if he gets a great break on the ball, it's not just a PBU, it's a pick. Mm-hmm. So go ahead and throw the ball near him. If he gets anything close to a great break, it's going to be an interception. Mm-hmm. He's got unbelievable speed to make up. If he's behind, you've seen him a bunch of times, whether it's on an over route, whether it's on a deep post. He's been behind a couple times, but he's got that make-up speed to be able to go and get the ball. And then just his footwork and technique. I mean, it gets better and better. His toughness, how he plays with, the tenacity of, hey, maybe he gives up one play, but the next thing he is covering as hard as he can. I mean, we talked about this last year, Church, watching him in training camp. I'm like, this guy is something special. Yeah. I mean, he had this one practice in training camp last year where he had 4 or 5 picks, and I'd never seen a rookie play like that. And I'm like, wait, he was a second-round pick? How the heck? He's as good as I've ever seen as a rookie. Mm-hmm. And he got a little banged up. I think he got a little banged up early in the year, and I think he was playing with a brace and still playing great, still covering receivers really well. I mean, had a couple interceptions or came close. And then when he got healthy, I mean, I think it was a game in Philadelphia where he had 2 picks. One where he ran all the way across the field, dove out of bounds in the end zone and made this incredible play. I mean, you just saw last year these incredible plays, and as the consistency grew. I mean, the guy has just been incredible. And we talked about it last year, Church. We said we think he's going to be one of the best, not only corners, but one of the best players in the league. And he's shown it this year. He's unbelievable.
Yeah, without a doubt.
My last question for you, Sean, is looking at the Vikings game on Sunday night. There's a good stat I heard on Hanging with the Boys, a podcast right before us. 53% of Minnesota's runs have been up the middle. So what do the linebackers have to do as they face Dalvin Cook and Alexander Mattison in this football game? And Kirk Cousins, by the way, only has 2 interceptions right now. 13 touchdowns. But they're doing it very well when it comes to running and passing the ball. But what do the linebackers need to focus on, and how do they get this run stopped?
Well, they're talented on both sides of the ball. I mean, offensively, they have couple receivers that they can go to. Kirk Cousins, man, is a really good quarterback who, when he is hot, can get really hot, and he's tough to play against. And the running game's tough. The zone, Dalvin is unbelievable. He's got great footwork. He's really hard to bring down. When you could have him in a tight area, and his feet are so good and his hips are so strong, you got to do everything you can to bring him down. He runs that zone, cut back running scheme as well as anybody. And the whole offense is hard to play against. When they're rolling, you get the boots, you get the play action, you get the run. They can do it at all levels, and they're really good at it. And then defensively, they have 2 really good linebackers, a great safety, 2 defensive ends with a ton of speed. And so, they didn't get off to a great start, but I still think this is a really good football team. It's going to be a huge test. I mean, this is, sometimes you say you play a team and, you look at the tape and you're like, sometimes their record doesn't match up. And I believe that with this team, this is going to be a tough test.
Sean Lee.
The great, the general.
Number 50, Penn State's finest. We appreciate you coming to the Players Lounge, brought to you by Hotels.com.
Thank you much, man. Appreciate it, Sean.
Hey, I appreciate the hell out of you guys. Let's talk soon.
All right, we'll do.
All right. Sean Lee, we got to take a break.
See you.
When we come back here, let's talk about Lel Collins and how his first day went as he had to work at guard and tackle. Barry Church, Newey Scruggs, Danny McCray on assignment. This is the Players Lounge on DallasCowboys.com radio.
Honey, big news.
Gary, are you okay?
Oh, I'm not Gary anymore. I'm Jackie Flash.
What?
See, I want the latest smartphone, but the best deals are only for new customers. So, to get a new customer deal, I changed my name to Jackie Flash.
Okay, but the best smartphone deals at AT&T are for everyone, new and existing customers.
That's huge. Then guess who's getting a deal?
Is it Jackie Flash?
Jackie Flash.
It's not complicated. At AT&T, our best smartphone deals are for everyone. Restrictions apply. Visit att.com for details.
The Cowboys way, where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships shows us what success looks like. Where turkey is always the second best part of Thanksgiving Day. Where we are all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans know it's our job to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way.
Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
Hey Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
It's game day. You know what that means. First, kebab prep. Steak, pepper, onion, steak, pepper, onion. Next, a counterclockwise lap around the room. Now the lucky grease-stained jersey goes on. And lastly, the dance. You know the one. This is a game day ritual no matter where you are. Whether you're traveling to the game or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com and keep the tradition alive and well. Hotels.com, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to the Players Lounge.
If your idea of a perfect Thanksgiving feast isn't spent around a dinner table, but instead in a private suite at the Dallas Cowboys Thanksgiving Day game with 17 of your closest friends and family, well, Hotels.com and the Dallas Cowboys coincidentally created the ultimate grand prize for you. Head to DallasCowboys.com/hotels for a chance to win a private suite, a free night hotel stay, transportation to and from the game on a private Cowboys bus, and $1,000 gift card to Hotels.com with 1 year of gold loyalty status. All courtesy of Hotels.com. Go and enter DallasCowboys.com /hotels to have the sweetest Thanksgiving day ever. Church, do you have 17 people you can take into the suite?
No, I do not. I ain't gonna lie to you. If it ain't my fam and you know the family in Pittsburgh, grandparents and parents, I mean that's about it.
Okay, so keep me in mind if you win it.
If I win it, I got you, man. I'll add you. You and the fam. I got enough tickets for everybody. All right.
All right, Barry Church here, Players Lounge. La'el Collins is not going to start at right tackle. He's not going to start. Yesterday, he worked at guard and tackle. He hasn't played guard since 2016. That was Dak Prescott's rookie year. Head coach Mike McCarthy said, quote, looked like he was riding a bike, end quote, at the guard spot. So.
Sounds like they want him at guard.
And that was my next thing. Where do you think La'el Collins starts next for the Cowboys? Right guard? I should say right tackle or left guard?
If we're talking about starting on on the offensive line, snap one, play one, are we talking about this week or going forward?
Just
going forward.
Whenever.
I feel like he's going to end up playing at that guard position. I mean, we already have the writing on the wall. McCarthy talking about, it's like he was riding a bike out there. He's great at that left guard position. And we know we've given up some pressures on that interior part of the offensive line between Connor Williams and Biadasz. They've had some struggles in there. So I think that what they're going to try to do is they're going to try to put their best five out there. Okay. And I feel like they believe that if with the position flex that La'el Collins has, he can move in there into that guard and he could be an upgrade from a Connor Williams. And, that's no slight towards, him or anything like that, but still has been playing pretty well at that right tackle spot. I mean, he has that momentum going on. And I'm not so entirely sure this is a slap on your wrist because we're mad at you on how how you got into the whole situation of 5 games suspended. So we're just going to move you inside. If it's like that, or if they're really thinking that Terrence Steele could be their next solidified right tackle, we're going to keep him there and we'll move you around. But I'm not so sure which direction that one's going in because I feel like we talked about the other day, I feel like if La'el is healthy and his conditioning is back on, I feel like he is a better player than Terrence Steele when it comes to blocking at that right tackle position. But maybe they feel Terrence Steele is better, or they're saying, look, we didn't like how you handled that whole situation and we're moving you going to left guard.
Let's put it in this aspect. What if it is simply we think we've got a better offensive line if we keep Steele in, put Collins in, take Connor Williams out?
Yeah, I think that's what they're thinking, that we have a better 5. That's our best 5. Knowing that, it ain't like this is a new thing for Collins to go out there and play the guard position. Like you just mentioned, he was there all of 2016. And he played at a high level, relatively. Okay. So, but for him, I don't know. I think I feel some type of way. One, if you're trying to get another bag, we all know tackles get paid more than guards. So that's one thing going into it. But, I mean, he worked and grinded to get his way up to that right tackle spot and be able to be solidified as one of the better tackles in the National Football League. And then to have this happen where he gets bumped down into the guard position, I mean, he would feel some type of way. But he also has to feel like, this is my responsibility. It wouldn't have happened.
It's self-inflicted wound.
Yeah, it wouldn't have happened if I didn't handle that situation wrong. I mean, we'd have never heard of Terrence Steele. We'd have still thought Terrence Steele was the guy from last year who struggled a lot.
Correct.
He would have never had another opportunity to go in there and Wally Pitt my guy. But once again, he was able to do that. He showed great against some of the best premier defensive ends. He played pretty well, and now he's giving himself a shot to go out there at right tackle. And La'el has nobody to blame but himself.
When they talk best 5, that was something that we were constantly talking about last year.
Playing fantasy football with it. We're going to move Martin here. We're going to move him to tackle. We're going to move to left guard. But when you look at it, there has been struggles in that interior part of the offensive line. So do you feel like, all right, I know we got this chemistry going with these 5 guys right here, but we got an unbelievable talent who can play guard and tackle. Do we just plug him in at the guard and then let him grow over time with this new offensive line? Or do we keep that chemistry that they have going these past 5 or 6 games? That's the question that they're going to ask. And is Connor Williams that big of a liability? Like, I know we've given up pressures, but is he that big of a liability to pull Collins back in?
Let's put it this way, and I've seen this on social media a lot, where if you're talking who's the weakest link on the offensive line right now, you could say it's the center.
That's where I would have gone with it.
But you don't have a replacement for the center.
You don't. That's a dilemma they're in right now.
So you're going center, weakest link, second weakest link, left guard.
And you have a valuable backup that can come into that left guard position and play.
Where can you upgrade between those two?
Yeah.
You can upgrade at the left guard.
The left guard position.
You don't have anyone who can upgrade you at the center right now.
No.
So,
and at that center, you can put these two guys beside him, and I'm sure it'll help stop the leakage a little bit. He's still gonna have to snap the ball, and you're gonna have to block somebody. But if you got Lael beside you, as well as a Hall of Famer and Zach Martin, I think that pretty much solidifies it that he won't be that much of a leak as he is right now.
So if you're a defensive coordinator and you say, okay, look, right there. Here's our gap between this guard and center. Let's go.
You got to try him at least.
Let's go.
I mean, this is his first game. He didn't play. Collins, I'm talking about. He didn't play all of 2020. All of 2020. Then he just came back in 2021, played the season opener, and missed and then suspended the next 5 games. And we noticed that, the only way to get better or at least maintain that skill level is you got to actually play the game. You're not just going to come out here and just cold turkey and be good. So if I was Zimmer, I'm going straight at those boys, right at them, see what they got.
By the way, do not look at Pro Football Focus grades.
Oh, no. I was never a fan of that.
And try to make a justification based off that.
Mm-mm. You can't do it. I've never been a fan of Pro Football.
The coaches and what they're asking for, every team's different.
Mm-hmm.
I think Pro Football Focus does a good job. That what they're trying to do with their analytics, and that's good stuff. But every team is different, and how what they're looking for. It's just so it's not the be all end all. Because I know some people try to put it there. Well, look at Connor Williams just rating it. Don't do that. That you can't just because that's what Pro Football. That's not the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes,
and
exactly.
what Joe Philbin is grading and what he and Mike McCarthy are looking for and wanting.
Yeah, and obviously they feel like Williams must be the weak link because they're not saying anybody else. Oh, when you got to put him at left tackle or we'll try him over here. No, they're talking about we're trying him at guard and at right tackle.
Well, if I'm looking between the center and the guard, I would think to me, and this is also just in conversations with Nate Newton, former 3-time Super Bowl champion with the Dallas Cowboys, your center's too light.
Yeah, he ain't got enough bricks in his pocket.
Okay, the center's too light, but you don't have an upgrade option at the center.
We don't.
You could have an upgrade option at the guard.
Yeah, you do. And that center position, it's just too valuable. It's just too valuable because they're snapping the ball, they're getting the play started. You can't have a guy just willy-nilly, oh, man, he's a great guard, let's try him at center. It just doesn't work out that way.
So think of it this way. If you bring Collins in, who's bigger than Connor Williams.
Oh, yeah.
And you've got Connor. You replace Connor on the left side with Collins. On the right side, you've got the All-Pro Zach Martin. That allows you to help your center between one of these two players.
Without a doubt.
That helps you.
Yeah.
And so when you talk about the whole best 5 concept, that's where a Pro Football Focus rating does not really work. It doesn't work. Don't look at a rating. What they're going to be looking at is how do we make ourselves better? Also, how do we make it harder on the defense? Because the defenses right now are trying to say, look, that's where to go.
That's where to go. And
this is where we want to try and get to.
And if I'm Zimmer, I'm still with that approach. I'm like, look, Collins, you're going to have to prove to me that you can be this guy at the guard, and we're going to steady attack you. Because, I mean, like I said, he missed out all last year, 5 games this year. He's going to be a little rusty out there. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're sending Kendricks, if they're sending Barr, if they're doing some type of stunts or ET stunts or games to try to get after Collins. Because you only get better at those type of things with reps. And you got to see the type of stunts and what the defenses are going to try to do to you. And he hasn't had a lot of reps in his recent time. So they're definitely going to try him. If I was Zimmer, I'd go at him. I'd throw the kitchen sink at him.
I just think in terms of, let's say you had to play the Rams again in the playoffs.
Oh, look, there's Aaron Donald. And look, Aaron Donald's a handful for Zach Martin. So just imagine if you got, Biotish or Collins out there having to handle an Aaron Donald. And that situation is going to be tough.
Now, before everyone wants to just write off Connor Williams, which you should not do, the health of Tyron Smith we saw just in the last game, which wasn't Tyron's fault. He got rolled up on.
He did.
But there could become a situation where you need to have maybe Steele go left tackle and then put Collins at right.
Put Williams back in. Yeah, I wouldn't get rid of him.
No,
without a doubt.
You're not even saying in a 17-game season. No,
still got 11 left. Yeah,
right. And for the people who talk about trading Michael Gallup, I've already said it. No. 17-game season. You're gonna need guys. But I'm just saying in terms of do not write off Connor Williams because there are so many other things that can continue to happen. The Cowboys get ready to play 11 straight football games.
Yep. back to back to backs. It ain't like it's going to take any type of break either.
Right. So I just see this move in terms of trying to possibly improve your 5. It's legitimate, but the juggling may not be done.
Yeah.
Last year at this time, you're thinking Kansas City, not just in the Super Bowl, Kansas City repeating as Super Bowl champions. But by the time they got to the first weekend in February, they had 3 offensive starters gone.
And we saw what happened in that Super Bowl. They got after Patrick Mahomes. So the Cowboys, in my opinion, when's the last time they were this deep? And across the board. I mean, look at the offensive line. You got Collins coming in. You got Steele. You got
92
Smith.
and 93. The last time they were this deep is when you had a John Giesick and a Kevin Gogan on the bench.
And then you still got Nsekhe, who, he's not terrible, but he can provide depth in there as well. So it's just like, it's a good problem to have, but you're right. You got to keep everybody in there. You can't write off anybody because, like you said, we got 11 games left. This is a long season, and then you add playoffs on top of that. We're going to need every, like what did McCarthy say? Every 77, we need all 77 players. We're going to need them all to make that run.
So I'm not one of those who just thinks in terms of trading away your depth. If this is the type of team you think it can be, keep everyone around.
Keep the depth, man.
And Church, you've played the game long enough. Nobody who starts it in August is the same way in January when the season ends, man.
Man, feet start to hurt, muscles start to hurt. I mean, you start to feel all types of things that, during camp and everything, you just kind of brushed off. I'll shake back real quick. But it's that recovery towards the end of the year. It's just your body's beat up. There's just not a lot of rest. You're going at it every single day with your teammates. Then you got to turn around and go 100% in the game. So it's a long season, 11 games left. A lot of things can happen. As long as you're as deep as this team is, you should be successful. But like you said, you're going to need everybody out there to make the run that we think we're going to be able to make.
Okay, I'm out tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I got to give you my prediction for the game.
Yeah.
So let's take a break, come back, give your prediction time. Are you in Friday? Yeah, you in Friday because you got to do the read.
I got to do the reads, baby.
You got to do the reads on Friday. So, all right, so I'll give you my prediction, and then you and Danny can get back at it on Friday.
Yes,
my prediction for this Cowboys-Vikings Sunday night Halloween contest next right here on Players Lounge, brought to you by Hotels.com on DallasCowboys.com radio.
Organic pumpkin smoothies are back at Smoothie King with at least 13 grams of protein each and 5 options to choose from. It's easy to find a favorite to help you reach your goals, like the new Keto Champ Pumpkin, packed with a whopping 23 grams of protein and 9 net carbs. It's a quick and nutritious meal on the go. So order online or through the app for pickup or delivery. And power up with pumpkin and protein. Official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys. Smoothie King. Rule the day.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
The Cowboys way, where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships shows us what success looks like. Where turkey is always the second best part of Thanksgiving Day. Where we are all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans know it's our job to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way.
Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
Hi, I'm Clint Tillison with United Ag and Turf. Before you can park yourself in front of the game, park yourself in a John Deere and power through your chores. Our Land Run package is a 1025R, 25 horsepower tractor with a loader, rotary cutter, and a box blade for $229 a month. And the price you see is the price you'll pay, no surprises. So don't miss another kickoff.
Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com. Offer ends February 1st, 2021. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Now let's get to work.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Head to AT&T Stadium on Saturday, November 6th to experience Rally Day presented by SeatGeek. Take a tour of the stadium, play games, and get autographs from Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders and more. Visit attstadium.com/rallydays for tickets and more information. So, Church, tomorrow you got that big hotels.com read.
Not that long one that you be doing. I'm going to do the cheerleading one.
And then you got the cheerleading one.
Yeah,
that's it. Okay?
I'm picking choose, man. I'm a picking
so
choose.
Break around 45, break around 1, and
there
that,
it is.
Right around there.
I've been studying. I've been studying your
good.
techniques. I've been watching your techniques. I'm like, all right, this is when he usually takes breaks. All right, let me see what I can do. All right.
Try to space it out a little bit.
It is.
Okay, so since I'm out tomorrow, let me go ahead and give you my prediction.
Let me know.
Cowboys win 36-33. I think we see a lot of points being scored here. This is Greg the Leg time.
Greg the Leg coming through? Not like Tampa Bay, but he going to come through this time. Right?
Like the Charger game out in Los Angeles.
There you go. There we go.
You're going to need Greg the Leg to do his thing one more time here. I just believe that this is, in a lot of ways, these teams mirror each other.
They do.
Where they've got some high-powered offenses.
Without a doubt.
The running games are really good. Cowboys number 2 in the NFL, Vikings number 8. So I'm looking at this and I'm just saying, okay, this is going to come down to me to 2 things. 1, turnovers. Okay, I'm putting it right there. Turnovers are where the Cowboys have to win this. And then number 2, the self-inflicted wounds, the penalties.
Can't be like the Patriots, because we won't win if it's like the Patriots. I'll tell you that right now.
And I go back into the Vikings ended up losing a game they should have won against the Bengals.
Yeah, they should have been. They lost on the last-second field goal, right?
Cook fumbled, and then
that's what it was.
And then that's what happened. So the Arizona game, they didn't play sound football. They didn't too many self-inflicted wounds here. So Minnesota will shoot themselves.
They will. Kirk Cousins, we've known Kirk Cousins to shoot us, but this may not be the same Kirk Cousins we've used to playing.
It hasn't been him necessarily.
Yeah.
So this is why I say I think it'll be a high-scoring game, but this is good for the Cowboys. You've got to figure out how to win the turnover battle. Will Diggs get another turnover again? Will there be another pick? I don't know.
If he'll get some opportunities, because if he's on Jefferson, they're gonna throw him the ball, so he'll get some opportunities. But this game scares me a little bit.
Well, see, and this is an interesting thing. This is what I do enjoy about playing fantasy football, is when you've got a receiver. I have Jefferson. You're constantly looking at the box score, and one thing we notice, Jefferson's so good. Thielen gets himself a lot. He's had several days. He's getting here at 7, 8, 10 catches a game because teams have decided, we're not going to go over here at Jefferson. We'll just and boom. Next thing you know, Kirk is saying, all right, Thielen's he's ready to go.
He's the guy. He's the guy right now. And this offense is scary. It, like you said, it's very similar to our offense, because it's the pick your poison type.
You got options.
Because they got so many options out there, healthy options. I mean, you got both of these receivers on the outside. Somebody's going to get doubled, and the other one is going to have to fend for themselves. And then you got that man in the backfield, Dalvin Cook, who these last 2 seasons, I think he's forced the most missed tackles out of any running back out there. He does it between the tackles. He can do it outside the tackles. And that's the scary part to me, is that's what we kind of showed a chink last week, or not last week, against the Patriots. Running up the gut was they were having success with that. And this is a different type of back than Harris.
53% of Minnesota's runs are up the middle.
Right up the gut.
But you talk Cook, and as you should. But they've got Madison. That's same
true.
way there's a Tony Pollard.
Yeah, so there's no breather. It's not like you can go out there, all right, Cook's out of there, all right, we can either do this or that. No, because Madison's, he's just as effective as Cook. He runs just as strong and just as hard. And that can wear down a defense similar to what Pollard and Zeke do.
I'll say this right now. I would not be surprised if Alexander Madison is a starting running back for someone in 2 years.
Yeah, after he gets out of his rookie deal, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, there's a guy that you could pay a nice salary to and turn around and give this guy the ball 20 times a game.
He's a workhorse.
He's filled in for Cook. And I said, go back to the whole fantasy football thing. I've had to fill in Madison for Cook, and Madison has gone out there and been able to be productive, just like Dalvin Cook. So this Cowboys defense is going to have their hands full in this football game and trying to run the football and out here covering their wide receivers. But I do believe the Cowboys have a better football team.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think so.
If you look at Minnesota and you just see 3-3, I would tell you right now, you're not looking at the proper context. Go in there and look at some of the games that they play. They've lost to a Cleveland. You've lost to the Bengals, which was their fault.
Close one.
And then you lost to Arizona,
which was a close one as well.
Okay? So these are, so you're talking about good football teams that they've lost to. So
barely, too. Like it ain't like you said, it ain't like it's getting blown out and they're just Kirk Cousins just turned the ball over all over the place, because that's what we've seen before. The Cowboys got his number. They've been 7-2 since they've played against Kirk Cousins, but this, like I said, this ain't the same one. This guy isn't just throwing turnovers. He's not just willy-nilly with the ball in the pocket. He's taking care of the pocket or taking care of the ball, and he's distributing the football well out there, especially when they get to the red zone. I think they're one of the higher scoring teams when they get to the red zone. So this is going to be a tough contest for this Dallas Cowboys football team, especially defensively. It may be their toughest contest of the year so far. I mean, they haven't played KC. They haven't played Arizona yet, but these guys present some problems. It's a pick-or-poison type offense, so they're going to have to be on their P's and Q's throughout this entire game.
Games against Minnesota are always tricky. The last time they played last season, the Cowboys ended up winning.
That was Wilson's coming out party.
It was a 31-28 win, and then the last time they played down at Jerry World, Minnesota ended up winning. So these two teams through the years, between Dak Prescott and Kirk Cousins, they found ways to battle each other. One thing that if you're a Cowboy fan, you should be concerned with. Yesterday's practice wasn't good. Dalton Schultz came out and said they weren't where they needed to be, and Randy Gregory said so as well. So when we're done here, the players are going to meet the media at 1:30. Okay. So bottom of the hour. So I'm going to go out there and try and see exactly what today's practice was like.
You think that was just coming out of a funk of the bye week, just,
we'll see.
A little bit of time off?
Those are the questions I'm definitely going to ask. So you got Schultz's quote here, Chris Beam. So
yeah, I got it. You want it?
Yeah, definitely.
Just felt like going through the motions just a little bit. Obviously in and out of the huddle just wasn't as crisp as it usually is. Just little things like that after a bye week. I think guys are kind of knocking the rust off a little bit. And at this point in the season, we just can't really afford to have a day like that. So obviously, I think guys are going to come out and attack tomorrow the right way.
That's what Schultz said yesterday.
Yeah, I think that's definitely coach talk. After practice, the coaches probably got after him a little bit, saying, hey, we got to pick our what up. We can't rest on our laurels. I know you guys are coming out of the bye week. So I think it's definitely coaches trying to motivate them to get back into the momentum that they were in before they had this bye week, just to snap them out of it. So I'm interested to see how they talk after this practice coming out. I think this is their full padded practice, I want to say, on Thursdays. So we'll get a better understanding of how they are coming out of this practice.
Okay, here's Randy Gregory, Cowboys defensive end, on yesterday's practice.
Starts today, we got to come out here with good energy. I think we did it at parts. As a whole, I don't think we had the kind of day we wanted to. But it gives us a chance to come back and have a better day. Keep the energy, lock in on some of our mistakes, and we'll be good to go come game day. I think we're both off a bye week, so I think that's kind of a plus that they're off 1-2. But we got to worry about ourselves, come back better tomorrow and the next day and the next, and then go out there and have a good game.
All right, so that's what I want to find out here at the bottom of the hours. How was the Thursday practice and where guys were? One of the things that I do like, there's self-recognition. They're not lying to themselves. They're not just that wasn't our best effort today. I think that's pretty cool.
They're keeping each other accountable. And that's huge when you're in the locker room. If you can keep each other accountable, nobody thinks they're better than the team, and that's a huge thing. The real question I got is, how was Ford doing out there? Did he practice yesterday? So,
good question. He was rolling out today a little bit and throwing with ease. So, Ford talks. So today's Thursday.
Find out.
So Dak Prescott is going to talk, and that's another reason why I'm going to go out there and listen to what he has to say as they get ready to face the Minnesota Vikings. And oh, by the way, it's a tough building.
Yeah, it is. They're going up to Minnesota, right? So
building.
It gets loud. It's like a mini Jerry World up there. It gets loud in there. I played there multiple times, so it gets loud. It's going to be a tough contest.
So that's another reason why you really want to make sure that you don't allow them in the game.
Yeah, you can't give them momentum.
But at the same time, you're going to be in the game because they've got
a good team.
They've got a good team. They've got a good offense. So I'm very eager to see exactly how the Cowboys play this Vikings team. And as I said, the 3-3 record is not the context that you could just really look at here and judge this team off of it. And I even go back to New England. And people just, New England hadn't won a home game at all. They made it tough. This is the National Football League, folks.
They get paid too.
This is not college football where you just go roll in here and throw and it looked like it last week because so many blowouts last week.
It was rough last week.
So many. Mike McCarthy's record, by the way, on bye weeks is pretty outstanding. So Mike's really good at having his teams ready to go and ready to play off bye weeks. It's Andy Reid's right now. I think he's got the best record in the league, but I think Mike's got one of the top 5 when it comes to what his team's records are after bye bye week.
So far, Mike's been doing a great job of getting his team motivated. They're saying all the right things. I mean, they're not going too much into stuff. When that Philadelphia coach came in with the Beat Dallas shirt, all you heard in Dallas, all you heard from the Cowboys was, we're not worried about that. We're worried about ourselves. No, what did he have to say yesterday? I know Nick wasn't talking. Nick talking.
Nick Sirianni got out there and said, nobody wants to win more than we do right now, but it's like a flower right now, and the roots are underneath, and they're growing, and you're not actually seeing that they're growing, but you got to water it and fertilize it every day.
This dude.
And that's what we're all trying to do. Are you watering and fertilizing? That's our guys. Are they doing? And
they had to be killing them in Philly radio. They had to.
Just go to Twitter.
I gotta check it out.
Go on Twitter to see this guy talking about flowers and fertilizing.
What in the hell are you talking about?
And then, of course, somebody was like, you can't fertilize every day. And then Scott's, the fertilizer, was like, this is true. You cannot fertilize every day.
Oh, man. They just killing Nick up there, man. Come on, Nick.
I mean,
You got to be better than that.
He has to be better than that, but at the same time, this is exactly what Jeff Lurie, the owner, and Howie Roseman, the GM, get, because you wanted a puppet.
Yeah,
you wanted somebody
that can control.
Right, somebody you can control and do what you want to do, and Philly fan is absolutely apoplectic of what they're seeing from their head coach. It's goofy, it's collegiate, it's just not what they want to see. He's not inspired any confidence at all.
And look at their team. They look. I mean, they look like they're outclassed in every single game they go against. It just doesn't look right.
You hired a guy who didn't call plays.
Oh, man. That was a mistake right there. And he's calling the plays now, though, right?
Yeah. When by the way, you could have hired a guy here who called the plays that they interviewed.
And you see what he's doing out here.
I mean, think about what they could have had. You could have had Kellen Moore, you could have Eric Bieniemy, but the Eagles wanted somebody they could control. So Nick Sirianni's a guy they could control, and exactly what they're getting right now. But oh well. As Bill Parcells said, I'm just trying to keep my own house from burning down.
I'm just here so I don't get fined. Man.
Cowboys, Vikings Sunday, Halloween night. I'm done for the week. I'll be back Monday, church.
I'll be here for the Players Lounge, and then Sunday, check us out pre and post game for the Sunday night football game. So we'll have some exciting things for y'all. So check us out over there. And like Nui said, you'll be back Monday though, right?
Yes. All right. So for Chris, Aaron, Will, everybody who's a part of the show, Barry Church, and I say thank you very much.
Appreciate you, General Lee, for showing up.
Yeah,
Appreciate
Sean Lee showing up. Players Lounge tomorrow, 12:30 p.m. right here on DallasCowboys.com radio.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!